When Trump spoke in The Hague, the world didn't just listen, they froze. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, photo, 3 names, 3 bombings, and 1 chilling message from the President of the United States. Welcome back to Timeless America, the channel where we dig beneath headlines and uncover the deeper stories shaping our world. Today, we confront a moment that has shaken diplomacy, raised the stakes of warfare, and echoed the ghosts of history. On June 25, 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump, during the NATO summit in The Hague, compared recent American strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities to the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. What really happened? Why did Trump draw such a historic and horrifying comparison? This isn't just about Iran. This is about the world, about power, about the terrifying echoes of history repeating itself. Stay with us until the end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you believe stories like this should never go untold. It began not with Trump, but with Tel Aviv. On June 13th, Israel launched multiple coordinated airstrikes on Iranian military and nuclear facilities. The operation targeted sites in Natanz, Fordo, and various IRGC military command posts. Israel's strikes were precise, brutal, and unapologetic. By the time the dust settled, dozens of Iran's top military leaders, nuclear scientists, and innocent civilians were dead. Global leaders called for calm. Iran, furious and humiliated, vowed revenge. But what the world didn't know yet was that America was about to drop its own hammer. In the days following Israel's strikes, satellite footage showed intense movement at U.S. military bases in the Gulf. American B-2 stealth bombers, submarines, and bunker-buster missiles were on the move. Rumors swirled. Was the U.S. involved in Israel's operation? Was Trump preparing for war? Then came the June 25th NATO summit and everything changed. Standing before the world's cameras, Trump didn't hold back. If you look at Hiroshima, if you look at Nagasaki, you know those attacks also ended a war. That war ended in a different way, but the destruction was extremely severe. With that sentence, history cracked open. He wasn't bluffing. Trump confirmed that U.S. forces had launched their own independent strike on Iran, specifically on the Fordo underground nuclear facility. Was the damage severe? Yes, it was indeed very severe. It wiped Iran's nuclear facilities entirely off the face of the earth. He wasn't vague. He wasn't political. He was declaring to the world that America had used bunker-busting munitions so powerful they left nothing behind. Fordo, once the crown jewel of Iran's nuclear ambitions, was now a crater of history. Fordo wasn't just a facility. It was Iran's message to the world: you cannot touch us. Built deep under a mountain, Fordo was designed to survive airstrikes, cyber attacks, sabotage everything. But not this. According to defense analysts, the U.S. deployed a massive ordnance penetrator MOP, the 30,000-pound bomb designed to crack underground fortresses. It worked. Fordo was flattened. Hundreds of personnel were presumed dead. Radiation, fear spread, and Iran was shaken to its core. Iran did not stay silent. On June 28th, under the codename Sincere Promise 3, Iran launched a barrage of retaliatory strikes using ballistic missiles targeting U.S. bases in Qatar and the U-drone swarms attacking American ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Attacks against Israeli and American infrastructure results were deadly. 19 U.S. personnel killed, an American warship disabled, 1 Iranian missiles intercepted, but several hit targets. Tehran's message was clear: we are not done. NATO allies were blindsided by Trump's speech. The UK, Germany, and France condemned the Hiroshima comparison, calling it irresponsible and provocative. China warned of a nuclear shadow returning to global diplomacy. Russia began mobilizing near the Caspian Sea. The United Nations Security Council met in emergency session. The verdict divided. Some saw Trump as a strong leader willing to end Iran's nuclear game once and for all. Others saw him as an incendiary figure dragging the world into a new era of nuclear brinkmanship. Why would Trump, a man obsessed with optics, invoke Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Analysts believe the goal was psychological warfare. By invoking the only To atomic attacks in history, Trump was telling Iran and the world, "We're not afraid of going to extremes. We've done it before. We can do it again." Whether it was a bluff or not, the message was terrifyingly effective. By July 2025, U.S. forces in the Middle East are on DEFCON 2, one step from nuclear readiness. Iran has moved its remaining nuclear infrastructure deep into civilian zones, daring America to strike again. Talks are rumored for next week, but trust is shattered. And the world watching, waiting, hoping history doesn't repeat itself. In modern form. Twitter, TikTok, and Telegram lit up with hashtags like hashtag Hiroshima again, hashtag for Dow crater, hashtag Trump nuclear speech. W3 loading. Young Iranians posted pictures of flattened neighborhoods with the caption, "Was this the price for ambition?" American veterans drew comparisons between Trump and Truman. Some called him a hero. Others called him a madman. What does this mean for the future? 1. Diplomacy is hanging by a thread. 2. The Iran deal is dead. 3. The Middle East is entering a new era of chaos and uncertainty for the U.S. This could either mark the end of Iran's nuclear threat or the beginning of a permanent regional war. And so the world spins closer to a moment we've dreaded for decades. From Hiroshima to Fordo, from Truman to Trump, history is a circle. One driven by power, fear, and the haunting memory of what just one bomb can do. Was Trump right to speak so boldly? Or has he ignited a fire the world might not be able to extinguish? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if you believe history should be told, not forgotten. Hit subscribe to stay with us on Timeless America, where we bring the stories that others fear to tell and share. This video, if you believe the world needs to pause and remember Hiroshima before history dares repeat. Thank you for watching.